Today we will be creating our fourth slide in your Mission Google Slide presentation. Before you get started, you need to go into your typing club and log in using your Google account. Again, we're going to remind everybody how to log into your Google account properly. Your first initial dot last name, which is basically your username, and again, if there's a number, make sure you include it, with the @ brentwood.k12.ca.us. Make sure your password is entered correctly, same password you used to log into your computer. That never changes. First initial, last initial, student ID number followed by a lowercase a. So click on this button to sign in using your Google account. This will prompt you to go into your login page. So once you log in properly, click sign in and it will take you into the program. From here, you're going to click on your ribbon and select and complete your next typing lesson. Make sure you keep your hands on home row, keep your wrist lifted, and keep your eyes on the monitor. When you have completed your lesson, you're going to use the arrow back button to go back to today's lesson. So when you're looking at Google Slide 4, you're going to scroll down and see that today we're going to be completing a slide called Interesting Fact. You're going to list 2 to 3 interesting facts based on the research that you did in class a couple weeks ago. So let's go ahead and open a new tab right up here at the top. This will take you right into a Google page, and we're going to go into our apps and go into our slides. From here you can select your slide presentation that you've been working on, click on it to open. Today we will be working on slide 4. So we're going to open a new slide by just going over here to this little plus sign. We can create a new slide this way by just clicking on the plus, or next to the arrow we can select a new slide with layout. So we're going to click on that and we're going to select a layout for our slide today. We're actually going to select a blank layout. If this ever happens to you, the slide goes in a different order, all you have to do is click and drag and place it where you'd like it. So this should be slide 4. Let's begin. The first thing we're going to do is add the title of your slide. We're going to call this slide Interesting Facts. So in the past we've already had our title ready for us. Today we're going to insert it using WordArt. So let's go up here to our menu and we're going to find the Insert tab, click it, and you can see we can insert a text box, an image, a video, or WordArt. We're going to go to WordArt today. So click on WordArt to select it. So a box appears and this is where you type in your title. So my title is Interesting Facts, making sure I start with a capital. And all I have to do is hit enter and it gets inserted right into my slide. It doesn't look exactly how I'd like it to look, so while it's highlighted and selected like it is now, I can change the way it looks. So the first thing I'm going to do is change the font. It's a little big, so I can drag it to make it smaller. I can also change the color of the inside of the letters by selecting the bucket. This is the fill color, the color that goes inside the letters. So I'm going to click the little arrow next to fill and I can change the color, keeping in mind again that we're staying within the color scheme that we've selected. And I can change the outline of the letters by clicking the arrow next to the pencil, which is line color. So this is the outline of the letters. And I want this color to be I actually am going to make this white, so you're not going to see it right away, but when I change my background you'll be able to see that. So I'm making it white and I'm going to change the thickness so it really stands out. Make it a 4. Okay, and even so I think I'm going to click on it again and I'm going to select bold. I want that to stand out just a little more. There we go. So now I have my title. Again, always resize it if it's too big by dragging on it. And now this doesn't matter if you distort it, it's a word, so you can drag it from the top or sides. We're going to insert a text box. So there's 2 ways you can do that. You can go up into your menu bar and go to Insert and add a text box this way. If I do that, I select text box. Using the left side of my mouse, I click and drag and draw the text box on my slide. I can undo that and do it a different way. If I want, here's my little shortcuts up here. I can click the T, text box, and click and drag it that way. Today you're going to be typing at least 2 to 3 interesting facts about your mission. Now, before I start typing, I want to create, last week I did a bullet point. This time I'm going to do number list because depending on how much time you have, you're going to do 2 or 3 interesting facts. So this will number it for us. So let's select number list, and now I can begin typing my interesting fact. Now when you're typing, you want to make sure you keep typing and the text will automatically wrap around. And when I'm finished, all I have to do is simply hit enter and the next number will appear. And I can begin with fact 2. So when you're done adding your interesting facts, you can highlight it to select the size to make sure that it fits on your page well. Next, we're going to add at least 2 images to go along with the facts on this slide. So I'm going to show you something new, and this is very important for you to listen to because it is not in your checkoff list. This is actually a new feature for Google Slides. We're going to go up to the very top and we're going to find Tools on your menu bar. From Tools, we're going to go into Research. Click Research and a little box comes up on the far right of your page. Now if we click in this search box, you can see we have options. We can search for everything, images, videos, quotes, dictionary. We're going to go into images. So it's very important that you select the little camera next to images. From here we have a little box where we can type in our keywords. It is very important for you to remember your keywords because in this box we type in the exact keywords to help us find the image that we are looking for. So one of my facts talks about the mission being destroyed by an earthquake in 1971. So I'm going to type in Mission San Fernando earthquake, possibly even including the date. I don't even have to hit enter and you can see images are already coming up. So I need to be careful that I get an image that really represents the fact that I'm looking for. So once I find my image, I put my cursor on it, turns into a hand. I left click on my mouse to just drag it right onto my slide. Now you're going to need to drag it from the corners to resize it and pull it onto your page a little better. You can see that I can only see half of my slide right now, so just use the little scroll bar on the bottom to scroll back. Now I'm going to go back to the top again and find at least one more picture because the requirement is at least 2. I'm going to leave Mission San Fernando on there. I'm going to highlight and delete the earthquake. I'm going to look for the bell tower for Mission San Fernando, so I just type in bell tower. And then my picture will come up. I left click and drag it right onto my page, making sure I take my time to resize it so it fits nicely. If you have time, please do 3 pictures to go along with your facts. Once you have all your pictures on your slide, go ahead and take a minute to resize everything, making sure it fits on there well. You might need to resize your text box at this point. Change the size of the font if you need to. You want to be able to see your writing. You don't want it too small, but you don't want it to come off your page. The last thing I'm going to do is add a border around my photos. So once my picture is selected, all I have to do is go to the pencil, which is line color. I can use the little arrow here to select the color I want. I'm going to use an orangish red. So now you can see that line isn't very thick. All you need to do to change it and make it stand out a little better is go to line weight and select a thicker line. Please do the same for all your images. The final step is to add a background color to your slide. Now remember, if anything is highlighted, you're not going to be able to go to background because the computer here thinks you're trying to edit your word art. Here the computer thinks I'm trying to edit my text box or my photo. So make sure you're not clicked on anything, nothing is selected, and you can see the background option will come up. If the background option is not coming up, then that means you have something selected on your slide. Make sure you've unselected everything, go to background, and go in and select a solid color for your background. If you have finished early, you can go back and work on any previous slides or maybe add one more interesting fact. Take your time and do your personal best.